Adam Friedland, interviewed Jay Leno about a year and a half ago, and he was really interesting about.
Wow.
Yeah, it was actually great. I went to his car garage in LA. We had a great few hours. I loved it. But
Cool.
what I liked about what he said was, he believed in like teasing and gently mocking all politicians from all sides.
Correct.
And he talked about the kind of real sort of golden period of Johnny Carson. Nobody knew Johnny Carson's politics at all. And yet, if you've watched late night comedy in America in the last 10 years, since Trump became a politician, all of them, almost two, they're all middle-aged white guys, which always makes me laugh when you think about the diversity push, which never seemed to attack late-night comedy. But they all, to me, developed an increasing loathing of Trump, which began to really distort what their actual job was, which was to make Americans laugh late at night. I stopped watching them quite a long time ago. I could not watch it. Jimmy Fallon, I would kind of keep out of this. I think he's always been a lighter touch, but I think Kimmel and I think Colbert in particular, they really went hard in the anti-Trump rhetoric. The View, it doesn't have alternate views, it has one view. They all hate Trump.
Very funny
They all
show,
came out in black funereal clothes after he won again. And I don't think these serve their viewers, and I don't think they serve their companies. But I also feel uneasy, as Kat said, about the FCC poking its nose publicly into making not even veiled threats, but direct threats that if ABC, Disney didn't take action against Kimmel, then they were going to pay the consequences. So where do you sit with all this?
Listen, I'm new to your audience, so just to introduce myself, I am a tell it like it is comedian, and no one's safe from my jokes, be it bratty kids, celebrities, politicians, people that just walk by. They're all fair game, but it is still deeply unconstitutional and immoral for the president to silence his enemies. But I think what's important now, especially because it's so crazy right now, is that we zoom out as like people, like human beings. And like, there's a lot of kind of empathy being expressed towards Kimmel right now. But where is the empathy for Donald Trump? Certainly what it seems like to me is that he feels like he's been bullied. And I've been a victim of bullying my entire life, and still I am regularly. I'm on the internet. But I've always said to my bullies, like, while it's disrespectful, rude, hurtful for them to be saying that, I support their constitutional right to be saying things about me that aren't true. So, previous Democratic administrations have gotten the same treatment from conservative comics like Dennis Miller, Michael Richards, Kill Tony. I'm sure a lot of that caused Joe Biden a lot of pain, but never were their constitutional rights violated by the executive branch of the government. And I think that is what the clear difference is here. And I think for all of us as a culture, we have to ask ourselves, like, is the president suffering right now from being made fun of? And the truth is this, like 30% of Americans suffer from depression, and there's a stigma. And if that is indeed true, like he should feel equipped to get help. And it is a
I detect a slight sarcasm to your
I'm not. No.
Well, no,
listen,
here's the point I've made. I don't think Trump feels bullied or hurt or any of those things. I think what he feels.
So why?
Here's what I think he feels. So he actually spelled it out in the last few days. There's no doubt, as he said, that about 99% of all the coverage of Trump on all these late night shows and The View and all these other mainstream media shows has been Trump bashing. It's never been that percentage historically with anybody else. It was never like that with Obama. It wasn't like it with Reagan. It wasn't like it with Clinton. It's never been so skewed. I think Donald Trump brings a lot of it on himself, but I also think there's no doubt, no one can argue to me sensibly, that Trump has not had a more relentlessly vicious, negative treatment from shows that used to be much more bipartisan in their mockery than Trump. So I think that all these things can be true, Right, but the
And he
question,
also comes from television, right? And so it's something that he pays close attention to.
yeah.
Ratings, he talks about they're being very unfair to me, unfair treatment. This is something that he is like locked in on constantly. So, I mean, to some extent, if these are low-rated shows that are taking jabs at him, vicious jabs sometimes, that doesn't really pose much of a threat to his power if not a lot of people are watching them. But for him, it's something that he is like zoned in on, perhaps.
Okay, well,
and that's what happened with Jim.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's complicated with Jimmy Kimmel. John Thugelsang, let me bring you in here. You said the Kimmel suspension shows how brittle, unmanly, and frightened